And we are back, Tom Anderson Show. Good morning, good evening, magandang gabi. I'm learning my Filipino there, my Tagalog, and this is an important show today, particularly for those listening abroad, particularly because many of you know that are fans of my show, Tom Anderson Show, in the great state of Alaska, USA, produced by executive producer Sir Richard, Dr. Rick Milliken. We like to have global audience members, not only engaging with us, but listening thanks to Wi Fi. And so we've connected. My wife is Filipino. She is from Aguilar, and we often go back to the Philippines in Manila to see her family, and her family spread out across her dad and mom across the country. And she connected with some YouTube stars. And it's so fun to have some celebrities from the Philippines, and they're not just in the Philippines, they're actually across the world, and they can talk about where they're residing or working. But Paul Serrano, aka Maestro, in English we say Maestro. That's right. He actually leads an orchestra. Paul Louis Serrano, Andy Pye, aka also known as King. He'll tell you what he does. And then also Sbarra Magz, I hope I pronounced her name right, aka Sbarra Magz. And I must shout out to everybody else. It's not just those three. For instance, they invited my lovely bride Lila to be involved with their YouTube collective and their Facebook. And they've invited other people. So as this is a video and will be made a video, we'll show you a screenshot playing right now of all the people involved with their YouTube channel. But how are you, everybody?
Very good.
Good.
How are you?
I am
How
fine.
about you?
I am fine, my friends. It's nice. It's in the morning here. And you know, in Alaska, we're known for our slogan in the state of Alaska is the land of the midnight sun. Because where we are on the above the equator in the summer, which is it's our spring summer now, we have daylight almost 24 hours. So for us, it's very fun to wake up and it's bright. For you guys, it's dark. Let's get into let's start the interview and talk about first we'll go to Maestro. You have a background in music, and we have photos that we'll show on the screen of you conducting. What was the inspiration for you to start a YouTube channel, and how did you connect with your friends?
Okay. I am a college music and PE instructor, as well as the orchestra maestro and conductor of the University of the Cordillera here in the Baguio City, the summer capital of the Philippines. I started I started a YouTube channel to inspire others to communicate online and show their special skills and talents. And so you and your partner encouraged to subscribe to other channels like what I did to Laila to promote her gardening and cooking and craft. And that's why you're finding such popularity.
And so with your background in music, you said, "Hey, I want to get involved with other people and promote their talents, their gifts." But you didn't just want to be centric to music, because you could have said, "Hey, I'm a maestro. I'm going to go across the world and just feature someone on the violin or someone on the horn or someone on the drums." You said, "No, I want to do everything." Maybe someone's a traveling expert. Maybe somebody is
Yes.
a chef. Maybe someone is an artist. And so you said, "No, I want to cover all those things." I think it was very smart of you. And what's the reception been? When did you begin on YouTube? You haven't been doing this for years. You're kind of a new sensation growing very quickly, right?
Yeah, right.
I love it, man.
Actually, I started just for it's almost 5 weeks since April 9. This is my this is my fifth week for joining a certain kind of YouTube family.
It's fantastic how quickly you have grown, and it's same with your Facebook community. And that leads me to my next question for King Andy. how are you promoting the YouTube channel? And how, I know you're a businessman and you've done quite well, and you could be doing other things. You could be traveling, you could be buying gold watches, but you decided to be active with your colleagues, and you decided to try to help out and be a partner in this. So let's bounce back to how you got started, how you met Paul and Shar. Was it just online, or did you know anybody before you started YouTube? And then secondly, how are you promoting it?
Okay, okay. By the way, Tom, can I ask again a good morning to your country, Alaska, and to my country also. Good morning to Philippines also, and good
Absolutely.
morning to Promised Land called Davao City. So, guys, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having here to your show, Tom. Thank you so much. So, as I started to your question, so I promoting my YouTube channel. Can I make this way? So I use firstly in Facebook. I do Facebook first in my page. I almost 5,000 to 6,000 followers. So I do live in YouTube channel in my YouTube through my Facebook first. And I do some question for our situation that we have encountered. We have a lot experiencing the pandemic called COVID-19. As I observe in the Philippines, we have our quarantine. Yeah. So, no come um, here in the Philippines, we are not allowed to go out without the food and medicine pass. So we need a pass for us to go out. So in a little bit, we have difficult to go around. So I decided to give some blessing like a small amount of money and a rice. So that's the problem why I started. So through the social media, I do announcement to share their situation. They can post in my page what they are facing right now, what they are encountered in COVID-19, and they can share. So I choose a 15 winners with a free load. That is a free load for top up in here in their data, and then I'll give them also a one sack of rice who choose to be a winner. And that's the time they have in the first wave I have 15 winners of preload, and the next I online again I do in YouTube. So I choose 30 winners preload and a sack of rice. That's why I promoted that my YouTube channel. And then that time when I was in LS with Kilmer Mendoza, I meet I meet Sarah and Polo. So that was I think almost 1 week ago. And then we started online with the LS live with the use of Paul's Serrano channel. So we got almost 100 viewers, more than 100 viewers. That's the started, and after that we do meeting and we decide to create the team King Maestro. That's the started the community.
And that's
So
when it
as we
started.
go,
And King, so the fact that you and your and Shara and Paul, that you had a view that you could help people, that's important. So COVID-19 pandemic, President Duterte says, "Hey, I think it's safer that we stay inside, and we'll have captains, and our enforcement officials will keep us in." And Shara's in Dubai, so we'll talk to her about where she's at in a moment. But so for the Philippines, whether you're in Manila or Cebu or Davao City or wherever you're at,
Tama.
Jen saying, you name it, you decided this is a way to connect with people. And because you're a
Yes,
person
yes.
of faith, all of you are people of faith, and because you have some extra resources, you said maybe a way we can help is to encourage people to start a YouTube channel like Lila. And you've already helped her raise what 150 subscribes in a week. My God. And but then you've increased that, and you've worked on your own YouTube page as well. I think that's a big deal. And on the computer screen, anybody listening and watching can see the link to go to YouTube, because I encourage people to subscribe to your channel, not just to win a prize, but to encourage everybody to subscribe to each other's YouTube page.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's good. And we'll come back to you, King. So, looking at that, now you're getting attention. Shara, you're one of the female members of your YouTube channel, your management. How did you get involved, and what is it like in Dubai? You're in the United Arab Emirates. You're not in Philippines. Obviously, you're Filipino. You're working there, and so my question to you, beyond how you got involved, this is a unique one, and I didn't write it down in advance. My question to you, beyond your beginning of the channel, is: do you target people in the Philippines? Do you target migrant workers, Taipei, Seoul, Tokyo, Singapore, Dubai? Do you target American wives like Lila, or all of them? Who are you targeting on this YouTube channel? But first, how did you get involved?
Okay, thank you for that, Mr. Tom. For starters, on behalf of all members of Team King Maestro, we sincerely appreciate the opportunity has this given. Okay, by profession, I'm currently employed in Majid Al Futtaim Accor Shared Services here in Dubai, UAE, and I work in cluster reservation. Most definitely, with our live stream, it does was almost the same thing or the same game in the office, like engaging multiple individuals. Since pandemic has begun, everyone got affected, obviously. Together with my cousin Maria Lavella, decided to use YouTube to share the knowledge, entertain people, and encourage small YouTubers like us that we are capable to do so. And by the questions that you have asked, we are targeting everyone, regardless of the race, the nationality, everyone, all over the world. But because, since I am a Filipina, I target first my kabayans, my same nationality first. But eventually, what my video has been created, it's for everyone. It's an information for everyone. Meanwhile, while we are wondering and meeting people, the platform realizes me one thing, astonishing. It has bring people together. What have you said? It's from Dubai, Canada, Saipan, Davao, Baguio, Manila, of course, Alaska. Most definitely all over the world. It embraces people that makes the word flat, and Maestro finally found us, the one that you have asked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
that's
the live
true.
stream.
It's a good point. It does make the world flat. Wi-Fi. I have a friend who is a former state senator, and she works with a company called OneWeb. OneWeb, and a lot of investment. Richard Branson from England, who owns Virgin Airlines, is an investor, and OneWeb is looking at launching micro satellites into the low orbit so that we can all be connected on Wi-Fi. Of course, you three and your subscribers are connected, obviously, or they wouldn't have YouTube and be able to watch. So are we. But a lot of people, I think, like in remote Alaska, remote Philippines, remote wherever, would love to be connected. And I think your term, the world is flat, and the fact that we are getting more and more connected is exciting. And I like your answer that you're targeting everybody. But I know that Philippines is centric. So I'm going to bounce back to Paul. Have you found that your colleagues in music and your students, are they excited about this, or does it depend on the person? I mean, some people say, hey, I want to go on my motorcycle, or I want to go to the beach. I don't care about YouTube. and others say, "Oh my God, I love the computer." Does it depend on the personality?
Actually, sir, most of my colleagues and students, they are really call this stalking my social media accounts, and unfortunately, they were able to see my daily live streams. That's why they were shocked, sir. What are you doing? That's why.
That's funny.
That's why, what are you doing? No, because we need to stay at home, so that's why we are doing this, so that we can to be
So in
connected
other
to
words,
one
your
another.
students are watching the Maestro, and they're like, "We didn't know you ate Cocoa Puffs for breakfast.
Yeah.
We didn't know you like red socks because they see you at home." Yeah, no, I understand. And then with King Andy, when you started your video, were you a little worried like, hey, I don't want someone to see where I live? Because Lila and I say that sometimes. We do a gardening and then she says, honey, do it at the beginning of the home. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. Our physical address is listed. Tom Anderson lives here, and then it has the address, and I don't want some nut job coming to my house with a shotgun. Do you ever worry about that at your place, or any of you, but you specifically, King, where someone says, "Hey, I know where he lives," or are you more anonymous than that? You're just showing yourself in one room.
Yeah. Tom, can I speak in Tagalog
Of
words?
course.
Okay, okay. You know what, Tom? Nagwo-worry din ako sa sitwasyon ko. I'm just worrying myself because, the situation is not like this. So I'm worrying sometimes somebody see me in the social media, and then I do live like this. And this is not my forte actually, because I'm a former seafarer. I work at the ship for 5 years international. I work at the Shell company. So for now, pandemic comes, I think this is a blessed for me because I shared the blessing that God given to me. And then Laila shared also that one the team created, well, interviewed by your show, the Tom Show. So I'm so grateful that we have lots of Filipino YouTuber. I know they have sikat sila, and they are started a lots of subscriber, but very much thankful that we are starting our channel, our community,
Yes,
collaboration
absolutely.
with your show.
Well, and
So
and I know
thank
that
you so much.
you're welcome, and I know you have an interview with the Canadian radio show as well. And Lila said that as you gain popularity, whether it's in one of the big cities, Davao City or Cebu or Manila or out of country, I think you will have more interviews and more popularity. Shara, one other question, and that is, I'll just ask you, how can people follow you? Is it your group? Is it or any of you can answer? But we'll start with Shara. Is it Facebook? Is it YouTube? Or do you want people to follow both? And then how often do you live stream? Because I want people to know when we are done with the interview how to connect with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Tom, nowadays there are too many platforms to use to connect people. And one of the ways is through Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And we can use that one to connect to people. The live stream is every day. And in order for us to embrace all the audience together. And that's it.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
perfect. And then Paul and King will wrap up with if you guys have anything. So King, I mean, what would you say? Remember, we're making a interview here, but it's going to be on video. So when people are hearing you and seeing you, they're going to see still shots of your faces, and they're going to hear us. And so what do you recommend they do as this video is shared? How do they connect?
Okay. Firstly, I speak for them. Ang gagawin lang nila, mag-enjoy lang sila sa ginagawa nila. Sa panahon ngayon na may COVID, this is the time na we have time sa mga kaibigan, sa family, at sa lahat. Tulad nito, si Shara at si Paul, nagkita-kita kami. And then pagkatapos nun, nag-create kami ng isang community na makatulong doon sa mga beginners na nagsisimula sa YouTube. So mostly, kami, itong pinakamaganda kasi kami nagsa-start pa lang kami as a YouTuber. And then, dumating tong time na to na mag-i-interview. So marami din kaming matutulungan papaano nila mapaangat yung subscription nila. Yung kung in everyday, ilan ba ang papasok sa kanila na subscription doing our community, our Team King Maestro. In short, we help people, new beginners, to have lots of, they call bananas. We call that bananas, that is subscriber. So we help them to grow their subscriber through our Team King Maestro. So guys, thank you so much for having us. We always live stream at 8 p.m. Beyond. We're done at 3 a.m. From 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. to 4 to 5. That's our time daily. Tom.
Okay, well, perfect. Paul, King, all of you, Maestro, King, Shara, I appreciate it. And you know, this week we have we have Cowboy Kent Rollins with well over 1 million subscribes. We have Randy Santel, who's a professional eater in the world. He's huge, and he's going to be on this week. He's got almost 1 million subscribes. We have some really big American stars. You guys are right up there globally with your Filipino launch, and I'm proud of you, how well you're doing. God bless you, and we look forward to having you on maybe in the fall again when you're even more successful, okay?
Thank you so much,
Tom.
Paul.
Thank you, guys.
Tom.
You are awesome. Folks, look on the screen to see how you can connect with them on Facebook and YouTube. This is the TomAndersonShow.com.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.